What's poppin', everybody? This is the cartoon kid Ray Rawlins, and today we're reviewing another classic episode of SpongeBob, as we always do on Fridays on the Cartoon Kid channel. We going back into season 3, and we're reviewing the episode connected to SpongeBob Meets the Strangler, and that is Pranks a Lot. Now, just like the Strangler Man, all you classic SpongeBob fans gotta know what this episode is, but if y'all don't, that's what we got Mr. Alex Payne here for. So, Alex Payne, give them the nice episode breakdown before we start breaking it down.
Oh, this episode has a pretty simple concept, I guess. SpongeBob and Patrick go to the prank store to look for new, I guess, props for pranking, and eventually they buy invisible spray. And they had a plan of pranking the town by spraying the park bench and sitting on it so people could see that they're floating on midair. But eventually, through shenanigans, they end up spray painting each other until both of them are invisible. And so basically, after scaring a random guy, they decide to go around and scaring everybody pretending to be ghosts and do the ultimate prank. And yeah, that's pretty much the episode.
Listen, we gotta talk about first impressions right now because nothing fucking made me die laughing more than when SpongeBob fucking sprayed Patrick's stomach and said, "No guts, no." Just fucking spray his shit. Listen, I was so man. Well, first off, this was another one of my favorite episodes when we were little, man. I say we were little, like we lived in the same house when I was little.
We were bubbas.
Man, once I saw that episode, that fucking joke had me dying. No guts, no glory.
Gotta get rid of them gluts, man.
That was my number one favorite joke out of this whole episode. Screw all the going invisible stuff. SpongeBob sprayed him first, like, has an empty feeling, huh? And then got on that second time, you see this nut Patrick with this big ass hole in his.
It's funny because like he sprayed his dick area too when he did that, so who knows what he could have said if he really wanted to.
It's funny. I was not even. I wasn't even paying that any mind, to be honest with you. I just like that joke. I was so happy to hear that shit again, man.
But you know what? Nah, I'm not even gonna mention that. But my first impression though, was I never noticed that music they had at the beginning of the episode. Like it's this really unique, weird like music that I never heard before or after that episode.
You know what? It's crazy because you watch your stuff with headphones on, and I don't, which I'm gonna start doing because I know almost every SpongeBob song in the book, just like I know you do. We've been long-time SpongeBob fans, honestly. So we know practically every SpongeBob song in the book, even if it's just like background music. So I'm gonna have to go back and see what you're talking about because I wasn't paying attention to the music or anything like that. But I want to see what you're talking about. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, that's my first impression, just that music. I liked it. It was kind of cool.
Okay. Let's get into the moments.
Moments. What would I say was my first moment?
The Peanut Brittle shit was awesome.
It
was, these jokes obviously aren't the greatest. These jokes aren't the greatest. It's just
I think that was the joke in itself.
I guess you could say that, but it's like for kids, man, and that's why I keep wanting to go back to say, yeah, this is a classic review. We're longtime SpongeBob fans. It's just like all this shit. It's just bringing me back like nostalgia feelings. Like, man, I remember seeing this when I was like maybe 7, 8 years old, and just seeing Patrick shake the dude's hand, the prank store owner's hand, and he gets zapped with a jellyfish buzzer, and then he chews the exploding gum and just blows his head off. It's just like, man, all that shit. I remember fucking watching at 8 years old with some fucking. Yeah, I don't get it. You're not supposed to get it. It's for the enjoyment of the prankster. So. And obviously, like I mentioned, I died laughing from earlier. The no guts, no glory.
Another thing, a thing that was funny to me though was when friggin' they were invisible, right? And and they pull up on the guy and ask him what time it was.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, I forgot what he said. He was like, no, what the fuck did he say? I think he said like no problem or something like that effect.
Yeah, and then they were
and then
and Patrick's like, who you
no,
talking to?
he was like, no problem for what? And then he was like, who is that? And then Patrick said like offended as fuck, me.
Ah, ghost! That dude just took off.
And then his eyeballs, it's like the
Oh
nerve of
yeah,
that guy and his driving eyeballs. But it's not even that,
his
like, just
eyeballs just
Patrick just
popped out
said
his
it
head.
so, Patrick just said it so offendedly, and I don't even know how to describe. He was like, me. Like, who else you think said it? Like, who said
you
that? Me.
you got you can never forget the moment where obviously they're spraying each other with the paint, they're making all their appendages and shit disappear, and obviously they take off their clothes because the paint stains clothes, and they were looking for their pants and whatnot. So I was like, oh, I think I found mine. He just Patrick
Oh,
just splits them motherfuckers.
and you know
Yep,
this,
these are yours.
and the funny thing, like, and this is the thing I'll say from the very few moments of it in this episode, because see, this is the last time I'm gonna mention the comparison between old and new SpongeBob, because I want to, at the end of the day, I should be reviewing this as its own thing instead of comparing
Right,
them.
of course.
So this is going to be my last comment about this, but it's just like Patrick's stupidity in fleeting moments, yeah, in this episode were like realistic stupid, not overly exaggerated stupid.
Right.
When he was like, oh, what time is it, SpongeBob? SpongeBob's like, oh yeah, it's 1:30 invisible, and Patrick's like, he said nice calmly, oh, it's getting late. Like it wasn't nothing super over exaggerated, it wasn't nothing. And like Patrick and SpongeBob, because I want to mention this in terms of that too. SpongeBob was friends with the owner, he was cool with him, and they were like actually good friends, like two normal guys talking.
Right.
But like now it's like SpongeBob either the people are really annoyed by him or he's just like super over exaggerated with them.
Right.
But
Damn, good. You be getting deep with your shit. That's why I have you. That's why I have you on board. You be getting deep with your shit, and you're right. Honestly, you point out the shit that I know, but I just don't really think to say. And you're 100% right with that. Like everybody is annoyed by him. That's why they all left Bikini Bottom for that one day, just to get away from his ass. SpongeBob dope, man. They can't be doing my spongy homie like that.
yeah, and even like in the last episode, like in the previous episode, like his SpongeBob's character was on point. He was cool with the he was when he was in the store, like in the strangler, even when he was looking at the pants and being stupid, it's like, I'm not sure if these are my pants. It wasn't like the guy behind the counter was like extremely pissed with him or none of that other shit. But anyway, back to this episode though. It's like, yeah, the characters were on point. Like they were actual people who just had personality traits instead of living personality traits.
Right.
Because the flounderization in SpongeBob is like pretty serious.
No, yeah, absolutely. And it's just like it's sad to see what it's become today. I mean, I wouldn't say sad, but it's just if you compare the two, you can see the differences. Honestly, even if you're just watching the series, and for us being longtime fans of it, we can really see the differences. But to get back to the moments, one of my moments though, the whole montage when they're all scared of everybody. Two that stand out to me first is the one where Mrs. Puff makes that cake, and man, ooh, I wonder if it's strawberry or what. I don't know, chocolate. I don't know, but
No, yeah, she said
basically,
double dark chocolate cake or some shit like that. But apparently it's
yeah,
sugar
right,
free.
okay, right, it was good. Patrick and SpongeBob killed that motherfucker. They freaking gobbled that bitch up. And
I know
quick
what the
action
other
too.
one's gonna be.
Well, here it is. Motherfucking, they're like, ghost, 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 toast. I fucking love that shit. I love it. I fucking love it. That's one of my favorite moments out of that. Listen, me and my brother, after watching that shit, we were saying that shit all around the house. Toast. just saying that shit, man. And when they and I really wish I remember this, but I really wonder if, because I think it takes place after the Ghost Host episode where the Flying Dutchman basically scares the shit out of Squidward, And the whole thing with him is he didn't believe in ghosts. His
No, I think this
expression
was
was,
before.
no, I think it was after. No, it was because Ghost Host was season 3. But anyway, if it's regardless, if it was after that, they played Squidward's expression up dramatically, which was obviously, he was played up more than the other characters, if you could tell. So if they went off that old writing, that's pretty dope. If not, hey, you know what? It is what it is. And if that was before, then they have a serious plot hole. Like, yo, Squidward is afraid of ghosts. He knows ghosts exist. If that takes place before Ghost Host. But
Well, you could argue each episode is his own individual thing, though.
you can, but you know what? I'm going off of, the character's going to be the same in this episode and another episode. But obviously the last portion, Mr. Krabs, when he's in the Krusty Krab, and their goal is to scare him because, he's a big Navy SEAL, man. Sailor or whatever the fuck he is. And, he's supposed to be this big, tough guy, not afraid of nothing. This dude basically tapes his neck hairs down just in case he is scared. He ain't trying to show that shit. But basically, SpongeBob and Patrick.
Yeah, what did he call it, man? His friggin' his timber brace or some shit like that.
Some shit. I don't know. He had ghost on. This dude was suited and booted and ready to go. He had his inspector deflector, all that shit. He was ready. But basically, SpongeBob and Patrick prepared. They freaking taped the doors and windows shut. They replaced the windows and shit. And it's just like they scared the shit out of him. They got him. But that's when their paint wears off. Mr. Krabs see them naked. And just basically was a good sport about it. He was like, yo, man, you guys are pranking for the fun of it. I feel where you guys coming from. I was a kid once, this and that, da, woo, woo, woo. But basically, as they're getting ready to go, Mr. Krab basically lures them into a trap, shines the light on them. They're butt-ass naked. And he's like, yeah, this is a new show starring the Bikini Bottom live nude pranksters. And I'm like, oh, man, ooh. Got him. Mr. Krabs super got him.
And to head into the review portion, when you really think about it, there's a lot of very unrealistic things in this episode. I mean, I know cartoon logic, but like, first of all, with the spray, wouldn't he have to spray on both sides of them for them to be perfectly invisible, not like spray the front of it and then like the whole thing just completely disappears? Second of all,
which calls obviously for more paint. A lot more paint.
Second of all, how did SpongeBob and Patrick know where each other was if both of them were invisible?
Exactly.
Because they high-fived.
Exactly. Yup. High fives, right on point. Bam. And, they stay close to each other.
Third of all, how was they inside the tree dome without a helmet?
Yeah, because Sandy would have saw the helmet. Yeah.
Yeah. Fourth of all,
unless they sprayed the helmet too.
No, because it wasn't in the shape of the sheet when they had the sheet.
Oh shit! Look at you, boy.
Fourth of all, listen, there was no way they had enough time to glue the door, replace the windows, and all that other shit. First of all, without Mr. Krabs knowing, and plus, because they presumably done that, especially at the door. They could have done the windows ahead of time, but there's no way they glued the door in that time of when he was there. When they walked in the door.
Right. And did that shit quietly.
Again, cartoon logic and all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm not gonna get all of that hard, but I just noticed like there was a lot of, I guess you would call it like unreal. And the final one though, like Mr. Krabs was in that back room with them and everything. So like, how did he get the Krusty Krab full of people and all that shit set up so quickly?
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
you're right.
But like I said, that cartoon logic, and I'm not gonna critique it for that. I just like, for some reason I noticed all of the friggin'. Oh, and this other one. Why? How is it that the invisible spray cost only $1 in the first place?
Oh yeah, that shit should have been extra expensive.
So I think that's all of them that I could think of. But no, I thought this is a really funny episode. It had its nice moments. Wasn't nothing too wonderful. I liked it as a kid, like you said too, and I still like it. I would say I like it about the same I liked it then. So I think I'm gonna give this one a nice 7. I really enjoyed it. And it's funny because
Go ahead.
if you look at it, this is the last truly great episode of SpongeBob before
Oh,
season 4, where
I think
everything
there's
takes that
still a
big
couple.
shift.
There's still a couple more. I mean,
No, I
I'm
just
on the
mean like
other side of like, man, season 4 is not all bad. They definitely got some bad ones in there. Don't get me wrong, but there's some good ones in there.
yeah,
So
but
you know,
Patrick is still but like Patrick is complete dumb Patrick in that season and everything, and they're just not the same anymore.
right. Well, I gotta say though, as my review for this episode, just like you, I liked this episode when I was a kid. You know, I said that earlier on, and I still like it now. My feelings have not changed on it. This was one of my favorites as I was a kid. But this episode is a comedy-based episode. Obviously, it has to deal with pranking. Um, and I like how you mentioned, because I didn't even think about that, to be honest with you. Like when I'm watching cartoons, I suspend my disbelief, so I don't even be paying attention to all that shit. Like all the logicalities, if you want to call it that, that are supposed to be there in all these episodes. But I gotta say, overall, not one of the greatest episodes, but it was still pretty decent for what it was. It's supposed to be an episode that makes you laugh, and when it pops up on the
Oh,
TV,
I just want
you'll
to
be
mention this
excited
real
to
quick.
watch it. Hmm.
Sorry to cut you off. I just want to mention this real quick. It's funny because they try to make the joke that Patrick's stupid because like SpongeBob was reading the newspaper and then you see Patrick is reading the newspaper upside down.
Yeah.
But he read the article, so Patrick must be pretty genius if he could read upside down print.
Yo, that dude, yeah. You know what? You're right. You're right. You're 100% right. I didn't even really notice that in this episode, honestly.
Because
I
he
wasn't
even
even paying
said that.
attention.
It's like, it says here that he's not afraid of ghosts. It's like, if you're reading it upside down, you must be either got some like disease that makes you see text upside down and you need to read it upside down, or you gangster because you read it upside down and backwards theoretically.
Right. Um, like I was saying though, that's extra points for Patrick. I wasn't even. You're right. You're 100% right. But like you, I'm gonna give this a nice 7. Not one of the greatest episodes, but I just like it because the whole nostalgia feel, man. This episode when I was a kid, man, I liked it, and it was just good watching it again. Like this episode, if you see it on TV, you're like, oh shit, this is on. Oh, I'm gonna stay to check this out. So
No, yeah,
good
I
old
definitely
classic.
would watch it.
Good old
It's just
classic,
not one of the
man.
greatest things ever.
No, obviously, but it's still damn good. But with that all being said, my name is Ray Rawlins. His is Alex Payne. We both give this episode a nice solid 7. Good old classic episode, man. SpongeBob SquarePants season 3, episode 20, part 2. Pranks a lot, man. Good old classic. But the cartoon channel. Hold on, let's edit. We gotta edit this anyway. Okay. The Cartoon Kid channel is the channel where we talk cartoons and we do it daily, baby. We're talking SpongeBob on Mondays and Fridays. And we got some SpongeBob playlists already set up, the modern reviews playlist and the classic reviews playlist, man, popping up on the screen as we head on up out of here. But if you like what we do, hit that like. If you don't like what we do, hit that dislike. And if you want to support us and you want to come on the journey with all our cartoon reviews with us, man, hit that subscribe button. And as always, if you want to give us an episode of review in the classic section from season 1 to season 4, put it in the comments box below, man. Tell us what you think. But with all that being said, we will see you when we see you. Peace.